file, and you're also going to need the instructions, which is this PDF. So I went ahead and I downloaded both already. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to open up these. We want to look at the sample movie, so let's take a look. Looks like. Okay, little stars, they glow nicely, and this comes up. Yeah, so it's pretty much that quick. We're going to create that now that we know what that looks like. Alright. So in the new project home, we're going to open up what? Alright. New composition from the footage. Okay. New composition from footage. And we're going to navigate to the lesson 4. They want the assets. And then select this background.mov, which is this one right here. And then they want us to go ahead and import it. Alright. Press the space bar to view the background. In this scene, the night turns to day. Okay. So it went from night, and it moves to day. So we're going to have to make the little flower. So basically what they want us to do is, see, this is selected, it's highlighted. If you grab this tool and go like this, you're going to create a mask. You don't want a mask. So what they're saying is press F2, that deselects this, and then now if I create a shape, it's creating a shape here on a new layer. That's the only point of that right here, where they were talking about this. That's why it's kind of a big deal. So a way to find out is, you see, if I put this over here, I have a little star. If I have the star, I know I'm doing a new layer. If I have this other thing, because this was selected, you know you're creating a mask. So you have to be mindful of that just for the future. And that's the reason they mention it. So choose Edit, Preferences. Okay. And then Preferences, General. Okay, General. And then now they want us for the anchor point, reference point. Okay, we have to find where they're talking about. Create an anchor point. So that would be this right here. Create anchor point in a new shapes layer. And then hit OK. So now the anchor point is the reference. So select the star tool, which is hidden behind the rectangle. Here's my rectangle. If you hold this, you can find your star, right? And I just got rid of that shape. And then drag a small star in the sky. All right. And then select the shape layer 1 and rename it. So they're talking about this. If I double click, no, I have to go to right click, rename. They want us to name it star 1. I pressed enter. And then they want us to apply a fill and a stroke. So from here, they don't want it red, they want it specific. So they want the fill color to be yellow, so here's your fill. And they want it specifically to be this R, so I could actually manually put this in. I could put R215. The green could be the 234. And then blue is 23. And then I hit OK. And now I have that exact yellow. Click the stroke color, and they want it to be a brighter one. So then I'm going to go to here. This is the stroke up here. I'm going to click that, and they say, hey, what do you want the stroke color to be? They want it 252 by 245 by 3. And that's how you have that different stroke. Make sure the stroke width is 2 pixels. There it is, 2 pixels. Okay? So file save. We're going to file save as, save our work to make sure that we can continue working on this, because it would be such a shame to lose it. I'm just going to call my lesson 3 star. Alright, next thing. Ooh, we're going to do wiggle paths. So expand the star layer. Expand how? Okay, here's our star. If we expand this, now we have more options. So expand if it isn't already. Choose the wiggle path from the add pop-up. So here's your add, right? Here's your add pop-up. So you're going to click that. and you're going to go to wiggle paths. So now we're going to make it wiggle. It says, whoops. Then it says press the space bar so you can see the effect. Okay, so let's push the space bar. Oh, it does. It kind of wiggles a little bit. Looks very jagged. Expand the wiggle path to 1. That's this one. Expand it. And then it, funny, it did say jagged. I thought the same thing. Change the size to 2. So let's change that size to 2. And the detail to 3. Remember, you can drag up that way, or you can manually input. And then change the wiggles to second to 5.0. Click the motion blur switch for the layer. Basically the header. If I click that now, that will enable the motion blur there. Alright, so I have my motion blur. When you enable the motion blur for a layer, it adds, After Effects enables it for the entire composition. So we're going to hide, so you can apply it. Okay, so hide the layer properties. And then press the space bar to view it. Okay, let's see what we did to our little star. Alright, it wiggles a little bit, but it's a lot less jagged. So, it says the star should not be visible in daytime, so you need to animate its opacity. I'm going to move this over so we can have more room to see. So select the star layer 1. Alright, so I'm selecting and I'm going to hit, instead of hit T for the opacity. Click the stopwatch to create an initial keyframe at 100%. I knew I missed it because I was going to say press the home. Okay, so they not in the middle here. They want it here in the home. So I'll pick home. So it's basically at the beginning. Now opacity, I hit that. It's going to create this keyframe here. So its keyframe is still 100% visible. So it's not like semi-see-through. Then go to 2 minutes and 15. So I could drag this to 2 minutes and 15, or I could not, but in this case I just went to it. At 2:15 change it to 0. So now I'm going to go over here and hit 0. So what that's doing is it's 100%, it's fading away, and by 2:15 it's completely, you can see it's completely gone, which is what we want. So you can see that again, gone. Alright, press the home key or move the current back to the beginning. Alright, we'll click home, back to the beginning. And now select the star 1, which is this. And now they want to edit, duplicate. So we're going to duplicate that star. Now we have star 2. It says another way to do that is to press Control D to 5 times to create 5 additional layers. Okay, so Control 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now we have a total of those 7. So select the selection tool, which is this star here. And then in the tools panel, press F2 to deselect. So I'm going to press F2 up here and deselect everything. It still looks like selected. I don't agree with this. Oh, I guess it is. Okay, I was wrong. Deselected. And then you want to make, so the ones we created, they're all on top of each other. So think of it like a piece of paper. Star 1, star 2, 3, 4, they're all on top of each other. That's why you can't really tell that there's 7 of them. So then select star 1 and then shift select. Okay, so star 1, shift select to star 7. So basically star 1 through 7 is completely selected. And then with them selected, press R. Okay, if I press R, it's going to reveal the rotation for all of them. And then what we're going to do after that is then Shift S to reveal the rotation and the scale. So Shift S. Now we can see both the rotation and the scale. Alrighty. Press F. Okay, they also wanted some of these to be smaller than others. So like, I guess I can make some of these, they all have the same effect, but they just wanted some of them to be a little different, so that this whole thing looked just a little different. Alright, now that I have all of these stars, Press the space bar to preview. Okay, so let's preview. Yay, they disappeared. The only thing I don't really like, I don't like this one being above. Yeah, that's better. Alright, animating concentric shapes. Hide the properties for all layers where I press the home key. Okay. Click home. Expand, hide the properties for all layers. Expand the properties for 7. Okay, the number 7. And then choose offset paths from the add menu. So there's your add. Offset paths. Okay. And then it says the stroke has been repeated. Okay. Expand the offset path 1 in the timeline panel. Okay. And reduce the amount to 4. The amount we want it to be 4 because we're going to reduce it, have a reduction. And increase copies to 2. Okay. The amount value determines how much the shapes expand. So click the stopwatch next to the amount and create keyframes. So we're going to hit the stopwatch next to the copies, create a keyframe right here. Go to 10 seconds. Is that 10 seconds? Oh, 10 milliseconds. Wow. 10 milliseconds. Okay. And then change copies to 3. Then go to 1 minute. Or I should say 1 second. And change the amount to copies to 1. So here are keyframes here on the copies. Repeat steps 2 to 6 for each of the other stars, varying time and settings so they expand and contract at different times. Alright, I did mine for 1 of them. I'm not going to make you guys do it for all 6. Hide the properties for all layers and then select star 1 and shift select 7. Okay, star 1, shift select 7. Choose layer pre-compose. So layer, and let's do a pre-compose. It's basically going to kind of group them. They want us to call this Starscape, and then hit OK. And now the Starscape layer is basically by itself. So let's go ahead and save. Alright, creating custom shapes with the pen tool. Make sure no layers are selected. So I'm going to hit F2, nothing selected. Go to 110, so 1 minute, or 1 minute, 1 second, and then 10 milliseconds. And then in the pen tool, the tools panel, click the initial vertex and add 3 or more to shape. Okay, so we want the pen. Where's my pen? This is the pen. And we want to create 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to make the shape. Come on, look. Okay. Select shape layer 1. Let's pause. Alrighty. Select shape layer 1. Okay. And name it to base. So base of flower pot. And then, with the base of the flower pot selected, click the fill color box. Okay, that's up here. And they want it to be this type of brown. So let's do that 62, 40, and 22. And then click the word, this little thing, woke, in the tools panel to open up the stroke options. The word S. I guess it's just this. And then in the stroke options, select none. Let's get the none. That's this. And then expand the base of the flower pot and expand the content shape 1, fill 1. Okay. So let me change this so it actually kind of looks more like a pot. Okay. Alright, so we're going to click, we have fill here and no stroke. Alrighty, where do they want this stopwatch? The color property to create an additional keyframe. So we have this. We have the shape. We have the fill. And they want this color here. And then they want it to be a lighter brown. So we're going to go to 401. And now they want that to be a lighter brown. So we're going to basically change that color. I wonder if I could do that. Aha! Close enough. And now it goes to this lighter color here. Alright, hide all the layer properties. And then click F2. And then preview it. So we created this, and now it turns lighter when the sun comes out. Alright, so positioning layers with snapping. And go to 110. Let me go to 110. Right about there, okay. Select the rounded rectangle tool. Let me make sure everything's selected. Rounded rectangle. So where is my round? Probably behind this, which is this one. And in the composition panel, drag a shape a little wider than the top of the flower pot. So they probably want something about like that. And then change that shape to the rim. Okay, so rim of flower pot. And then with the rim selected, it is expand the content, rectangle 1 and then fill 1. Okay. If the rim matches the base, skip to step 7. Okay, yeah, mine's the same thing. Oh, let's see if it does that. Oh no, mine doesn't. Because I'm here at 110. It needs to change color here. Go to 401. And now change it to probably this lighter color. Okay. So that was the part I missed. Let me go back to this 110. Put the color here. Go back to the 401. And now they want the second one to be this color here. So basically it goes so it matches. Alright, press 2 to deselect everything. Okay. Select the selection tool. Oh, sorry about that. And then now we want snapping to be enabled. So here's our snapping up here. And then select the rim of the flower pot layer, which is, I thought I named this. Alright, it's selected. And then click near the bottom of the ring and drag it to the upper edge. Okay. When we're moving this, this is what they mean by snapping. So it snapped to this layer. I don't know if I like that, but it's what it told me to do. So I'm going to go ahead and do it. then deselect and save. Okay. Or press the home key or move to the beginning. Select the star tool hidden behind the rounded rectangle. And then draw another star in the upper right of the sky. So probably around here. How about it's brown? The same bright yellow. Okay, fine. I'm just going to use this and get it to do the same thing. Press shape layer 1, which is this one, and call it falling star. In the timeline panel, choose pucker and bloat from the add pop-up. So in the timeline panel, okay, here's your add, pucker and bloat. Oh, this is hilarious. Change the amount to 0. Open this up, amount to 0. And then click the stopwatch. And then go to 401. And change the amount to 139. Okay. The star shape becomes a flower. I can see that. Okay, why does mine not have the red? It says it wants, let me change that, because it's supposed to have that red. Okay, better. It was probably keeping previous settings. Okay, anyway, press the home key or move, okay, to the beginning. Select the falling star layer and P for its properties. Okay, so falling star, P for its properties. Oh, positions. And press the S for the scale. Okay. And then next to the stopwatch for each, create an initial keyframe. Okay, so 1, 2. Here are my 2 keyframes. I'm going to close this, I don't want to confuse me. Then go to 420. 420. Okay, and then hovering over the part between the trees so that it's in its final position. At this point, the star becomes a flower but hasn't changed size. Okay, so go to, okay, they want us to move this here. I'm going to put it in the same place, right about there. Ah, I can see where the snap thing kind of works. Okay. Increase the scale values of the stars about the width of the flower pot. Oh, they want it large. Okay. And then press the spacebar to view. Alright, so let's view the spacebar. Alrighty, it's coming along, but now we need to add the stem. I'm going to save. I did Control S. Alright, go to 220. And if it's in the middle, they want it to kind of go up a little bit. So adjust the star's position so the path becomes a gentle arc. So we're going to grab this little arc and pull it up. That lets it create this gentle arc. Okay, hide the properties of the falling star later. Okay. Alright, so now we're going to change what else? Press the home key to move it back. Got it. Expand this falling star layer and expand the contents. Falling star and the contents. Polystar 1 and fill. Polystar 1 and fill. Click a stopwatch next to the color. Got it. Go to 401. And change the color to red. Okay. After we change that color, Now we got to the 401 and change the fill color to the red. Oh, it wants the whole thing on red. Okay, so I'll just probably take this and use the same red. Or it says it's 192. 192 green, it wants 49. Okay. 49, and then blue, it wants 33. Now we have their exact red. It's basically turning red as soon as it gets to this spot right here. Alright, hide all the layers and then press F2 and an empty one, okay. And then let me press F2. Okay, nothing is selected. Press OK spacebar does, so I'm going to save, and then it says let's view it. So we have this, it does its little winkle, changes its color, it's changing into a flower. Alright, so it got a little loud for the construction, so let's continue where we were. Just go to 420, I'm already on my 420. Open the pen, I got my pen right here, I just selected it. And then with the stroke color box, change your stroke color to this green. Okay, so I'm going to change it to this 447362 and click OK. And then it wants this to be 10 pixels. What does it want for the fill? Oh, the fill it wants none. So let's make that. We would have to click on fill and then we hit none. So no fill, but a 10 stroke. Just below the rim of the flower pot, create an initial vertex. Okay, so we're going to just below, so right around here. And then if we created this, right, I'm still holding. If I pull, I created it to look windy. That's what they mean by this Bezier thing, handle. Alright, select the shape layer 1. So I got shape layer 1. And then change it to stem. So I'm going to rename it, I'm going to call it stem. And then in the enter, remove the stem. Okay, so I'm going to move it. So I'm going to move this below the base of the flower pot. I got it below. And inside the pot, not outside of it. Yep, so now this is in it. And then expand the stem so I have shape 1, stroke 1. So stem, shape, contents, shape 1, stroke 1, taper. We're going to find over here to taper. And then within taper, I want to change the end length to 80%. So end length to 83% and hit enter. And then so the length value determines how quickly the stroke tapers. The start length tapers the stroke at a starting point, and the end tapers the stroke's end point. So width determines how much the stroke tapers. So then, after that, I'm going to go to, and ease determines how sharp. So with the shape layer selected, press P. So I have the shape layer selected here. I'm going to hit P. And now that I have that P, and I have its position, it wants us to click the stopwatch. I did. And it creates an initial keyframe here at this 420. Now I'm going to go to 3 minutes. So if I go to the 3 minutes, okay, so go to the 3. This is very confusing. This took me a while. It's an Alt and this bracket. It just looks wrong. So Alt plus that bracket. That's what they're talking about when they want that. And then with the selection tool here, drag the stem down so it's completely below the flower pot. So I'm going to hold shift so it basically drags down perfectly. So I go like that and I drag it down here. And then I'm going to hide the properties for the stem layer. That's the hiding the properties. Now I'm going to draw curve shape. So go back to 420. Alright, I'm back at 420. And press F2 to deselect anything. Okay. And then select the pen tool. I'm going to go grab my pen. And then use the fill color box. They want that to be 45, 74, and 63. Click OK. And then click the word stroke and hit probably none. Now I'm at none. Alright, click an initial vertex for the leaf. So now I get to create these little leaves here. Oh, unless you're zoomed in. Okay. So I have my drawer. So click, click, click. And if I pull that, I created this. I'm going to put F2. I'm going to click, click, hold, click, and create another one. And then hit F2 to stop. So now I have my two leaves. So select shape layer 1 and rename it leaf 1. And then select 2 and then leaf 2. Okay. Now we want to parent these. So we're going to move 1 and 2 beneath them. So we're going to select 1 and 2. I held shift to do that. And we're going to move them above the stem layer in the time so the leaves will be behind the flower pot as they rise. So move leaf 1 and 2 layers beneath the base of the flower pot. Base of the flower pot. So down here, beneath the base of the flower pot, just behind them. And hide all properties and then deselect. So I'm going to hide all properties. I'm going to deselect. Deselected everything. Okay. And then now I want to drag the whip from the leaf 1. Here's my whip. Where's my little whip? I'm not sure what it is. I can always hover over. That's a map track. Where's my whip? So I'm going to drag the whip from leaf 1 to the stem. Drag from leaf 1 to stem. And then I'm going to drag the whip from leaf 2 to the stem. So now they both have a 6 stem, just like this picture both has it. So I have falling star, rim, base of the flower pot, leaf 2, leaf 1, and then stem. Perfect. So the leaf 1 and 2 will move in relationship to the stem, okay? And the layers aren't needed until they emerge at 3, and they're emerging at 3 because of this right here, which is when they emerge. So now we're going to go over to 3. Let's type in 3 and jump over to 3. Alright, now we're in 3. I'll review this whole thing. Select the leaf 1 layer and shift select 2. So 1 and 2, they're both selected. Press the Windows plus that bracket. So Windows, on Windows it's Alt plus the bracket thing, and you can see how that changed things in the timeline here, because this doesn't appear until this mark at 3 seconds. Is there anything I missed? Yeah, to set the in point. That's when it basically came in. So now we're going to use nulls to connect points. So we're going to go to 420. We're going to go right back to 420. Where's 420? All right, we're right back in 420. So you can see the stem and the leaves well. We can. And then you're going to choose, okay, we're going to choose window, create nulls from paths. So window, create nulls from paths is down here. So it's going to say what? We're going to expand the stem layer. This is the stem layer here. And we're going to go to contents, shape 1, path 1. And then we're going to select path. So this is path. I selected it. And then it says you must select a path in the timeline in order to create a null using options. So I have it selected. Click point follow nulls. Point follow nulls and the create nulls. So this point. Maybe I have to click this one. Okay. I was just clicking the wrong path. Okay. After Effects creates 2 nulls. Here's my 2. It created a 1.1.0 and a 1.11. You only need the null for the top point. So select the null that corresponds to the bottom point. And okay, so we only need the top one. So they said screw the one at the top. You only need the one at the bottom. And the one at the bottom is your 111. So let's get rid of this. Get that rid of that one. Thank you. So move the current time indicator across to see how the stem moves in the flower. Okay. There it is, here it is, here it is, and yay, it comes right up. I probably could have hid the leaf a little better if I really wanted to. But I don't. So next, go to 428. Alright, I'm on 428. That's good. And use the selection tool to move the flower a bit to the right if it has been moved by the wind. Okay. Select falling star layer and press R. So falling star layer, press R for properties. And then go to 420. Click a stopwatch on the rotation to set your initial keyframe. Then you're going to go to 428 over here. And you're going to change the rotation to 30. So right over here, I'm going to move this up. It's going to spin itself and go to 30. File save. And we preview. And we should be done. So let's check it out. Middle star, middle star, middle star. It comes down, stuff comes up, and it spins. And that is it. You're going to just go ahead and add your name to this. So what I basically want you to do, so I know that you did the work, I want you to add a text layer, grab this text, and right over the pot, or right here, I want you to put your name. And then you're going to move it somewhere where I can see it. And then what I want you to do, since you learned about your whips, alright, I want you to move your name here. It's going to do the same thing as stem 8. So stem 8, 8, 8 should all be the same. And your name comes up. And that's how I know that you did the work. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and file. And I am going to export, add to a render queue. Your render queue is going to be here. These settings are pretty much okay. Output 2, this is the part you have to tell it where, preferably your OneDrive. I'm going to call mine star to flower done. I saved it in a smart location. I hit save. I hit render. It goes. Ta-ding! And you should be done. Mine does this. And there's my name. That's how I know you did it. So if I play it again, remember in order to get full credit, I need to see this whole animation here with your stars you did, and I need your name to come up with the stem. And that's it.